You may
Reveal.
want to stream it. You may want to stream it in the Discord call.
No.
So I don't have to deal with latency.
No. You'll get nothing and like it.
Damn, okay then.
On top of your dental issues, you get my attitude.
I mean, hey, look, I'm pretty sure it was in the agreement when we both decided to be friends that that I would get your attitude at random.
To be fair, that is the unspoken contract of all of my friendships.
Exactly. And in exchange, in all my contracts, the thing that people have to put up with me is my autistic hyperfixations and my socially awkward ass.
Just your ass?
Well, the whole thing, but especially the ass.
Fair. That's very fair. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Café Courthouse Cafe. It's the combination Courthouse Cafe. That's totally what it is.
We're at the courthouse. We're at the cafe. We're at the combination cafe courthouse.
This is way better than your combination cafe, Taco Bell, KFC.
Uh-huh.
Or PFK, depending on what part of Canada you're in. I hope you are all doing as well as you can be on this Monday, almost Tuesday. Hello, Jordan. Hello, Monstro. I see you were, made it on time. I knew you would. I was thinking about you. I was hoping you'd be able. I was hoping you'd show up.
It's a Christmas miracle.
No, it's not. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. It's not even almost Christmas yet. You can get your coffee and legal defense. Yes. I can't speak as to the quality of either, but yes.
And for tonight only, you get a side of cosmic shenanigans.
The one night I didn't accidentally put us in the void first. And on that note, let's get back to it. As far as we know, Maya's still kidnapped. And we still have to try and get a not guilty verdict by the end of the day. We'll see how well that goes. Tonight's coffee is brought to you by a hot chocolate packet and instant coffee. So if anything, it's actually a Dunkachino.
Tonight's coffee is brought to you by not coffee, but rather a Nuka grape.
That's fair. Hopefully it's good.
Oh, it is.
I kind of hoped so, because I didn't think you'd be drinking it otherwise.
Yeah, also, small hot take. Sorry for the side tangent.
No, I kind of figured we were going to have those.
People be hating on the Nuka-Cola Quantum a bit too much. Melts your insides, then that just sounds like a skill problem. Because I think it's swell.
Jordan's asking if you got the Costco multi-pack.
I did. I got 2 of them, courtesy of my aunt.
Nice. I was sitting here momentarily thinking of where the closest Costco to me is, and I think it's like an hour away, at least.
Oof.
Jordan wants to know how the Sunset Sarsaparilla is.
Like a root beer, but less sweet. So it's pretty good.
Monster says I put my spice rack up for Snowflake Jack and is asking for something small. What's up, buddy? While we wait for that question/answer, it's March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way! Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull it off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? I mean, I'm trying to say it wasn't you, so... yeah?
Like, at this point, it's either you or her.
And if we want to save Maya from the kidnapper, it has to be her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Will you, Phoenix? Will you?
You sure damn well try.
Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Jordan, who's a big fan of Adrian, says, "Oh man, it's a good thing I wasn't here or I'd be pissed at them harassing my wife." Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impax's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impax as her strength and reason to live. Then Miss Impax suddenly killed herself. Sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. That's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impax. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. You mean the Edgeworth, Phoenix ship? Are you saying he's the top?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't let your guard down yet. What if I want to let my guard down? March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Juan Corrida's room.
I should note, I have no idea what voice you gave her, because I was probably asleep any time she appeared on screen.
It really wasn't that different from Mia's, honestly.
Okay.
But, like, you're the one voicing her, so you go for it. After I finish, you know, I have, like, 5 thoughts happening all at once, and none of them are actually getting finished. Regarding your request, Monstro, we can probably do that. I don't know if that's gonna get the VOD muted, so we're gonna do it at the very end. Monstro asked for a particular music/YouTube video to be played. Did you want it with the visual or just the audio? That's the question. I sent it to you, no. So if you wanted to check it out, Nova, you can.
All right.
So that's that line of thoughts. Took a sip. We're hydrated. And we're off.
Did that pick up through my mic?
I didn't hear anything.
Because I also just took a sip of something.
Well, I didn't hear anything, so I think you're good. What is your occupation?
I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Edgard.
On guard.
On guard. Close enough.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. And would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. Sure.
Judge.
Sure, Judge.
Judge, you had one fucking job. You just told on yourself.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr.
Karita.
Karita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait kind of matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. He's thinking about Gant, because he's probably also thinking about swimming. He misses his boyfriend. I miss my boyfriend, Edgeworth. I miss him a lot. Quit telling everyone I'm dead, Udgy! Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
Don't look at me, I didn't do anything yet! I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well, then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Phoenix, you dick! Phoenix gets the chair! No! Phoenix does not get the chair!
Jesus Christ.
We don't just give the chair to everybody! When I found the body.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock.
Yeah, but he's being mean to Adrian. So, that doesn't mean he gets the death penalty. If everybody who was mean to Adrian got the death penalty, a lot of people would be dead and she'd be considered a serial murderer.
Look, if anyone being mean to anyone equals the chair, you would have gotten it, like, so long ago, Jordan, for your hate on Pearl. So maybe let's roll the train. Maybe let's put the train in reverse.
Do trains even go in reverse? They probably do.
I mean, some probably do.
That seems like a question for Tricky.
And unfortunately, he is very brain dead from the exams.
I mean, yeah.
What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes, Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix, she is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? Okay. I'll do my best. You don't have to read it again if you don't want to.
Thank God.
Because
Because I'm also still eating my tacos.
Yeah, usually I just like read it for that first bit, and then I just go through and see what's happening after that. Something, I want to see what else she's thinking and has to say about the I saw his body, I was in shock kind of thing. I feel like there may or may not be something more. It would help if I actually clicked the button. You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. Okay. Felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Ah, yes, I'm about to completely collapse. Let me grab some glass. Tell me about that. Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in great shock. That's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
I mean, it must be if you're sitting here mumbling about it in court. What was she starting to say just now? Tell me more! Miss Andrews. I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a Wow, Jesus. I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I went to set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry. I thought since that the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
Because it was. Because that's... What you're telling us is inconsistent with the picture. And what we know. Because we've got... Nope, that's not it. Here it is. Yeah, so as we saw, we've got the, the vase on the ground. The guitar case is open. But we know that the inside of the guitar case is dry. It's only on the outside, and he was the only one who had his fingerprints on it. So... I'm pressing X to doubt. Looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
I was the one who knocked the vase over where it fell onto the guitar case. Well, she's arguing... Well, she's telling us that everything was as it was in the crime scene photo. But if that's the case, the water would not be on the outside of the guitar case. It'd be inside. But it's not. Objection! You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. Girl, I love your bell bottoms. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards would be inside, not outside the case. Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. Ah!
What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Yes. Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter of the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be, however. The empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? Seems that there is no
very least.
Go ahead.
Sorry. At the very least shows that the witness is willing to lie.
Aren't they all, though?
True.
Like, I'm pretty sure there has not been a single witness that lied. Or that, that hasn't lied to us. Frankly, the only one I can think of that didn't lie to us explicitly was actually Mo. Like, he didn't lie to us, he just didn't have all the information. And everybody thinks he's annoying, so...
Technically Gumshoe as well, because he doesn't lie. He's just a little bit of an airhead who doesn't always have all the information.
That's true.
Or he does have all the information and he just doesn't put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
We still love him, though.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. At the very least, I still love him. If nobody else got him, I got him. It's like that frickin'... God, what is it? If Gumshoe has a million fans, he has 1,000,001 fans. If Gumshoe has 10 fans, I'm one of them. If Gumshoe has no fans, it means I'm dead. Or something like that. That's very much how I feel about him. He is just a silly guy. Who deserves more than ramen.
Yes, he is.
That's why some of my favorite fanfics involve him having happy endings where he gets a raise and like gets together with Maggie and stuff, because they end up being a cute couple with the way people write them. Miss you every day, King. Quit telling everyone I'm dead, pal. He says from like the next room over. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. And with that, we should also be back from the ad break.
Oh.
There was a particular reason I was not progressing the dialogue. Hee hee hoo hoo.
Fair enough.
It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think that we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Probably, yeah. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Can't believe I'm doing this either.
Edward, this man has grasped at straws so many times. How many times has it worked?
He hasn't just grasped the straws, he's grasped the entire damn field.
Exactly. And it's worked far more times than it should have. So,
Okay, but to be fair, Edgeworth has also been gone for the last year, so he hasn't seen it work the last 3 times. Or maybe he did, I don't know. I mean, Gumshoe was on the phone with him, so maybe Gumshoe was like, yeah, he's kicking her ass, pal. I don't know how. He's doing his usual lawyer tricks, but he's doing it, sir. Yeah, Gumshoe never refers to Edgeworth as pal. I think he's only exclusively refers to him as sir. Give him the proper respect he deserves. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
yes, Your Honor.
The guitar case.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the English. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Lots of vagueness. I don't like it.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. Au contraire, mon frère. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now, it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start my cross-examination. It's using anyway to change the subject, to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Are you saying I need to lift more? Goddamn. Rude as
Bold
fuck.
words coming from someone who's weak for Phoenix, Edgeworth.
Don't remember, 'cause I was dazed. Must have opened the case after I knocked the vase over. I don't think you did. Or if she... There's a lot of contradictory things happening here. She has fingerprints on the wine glass, but if she says she opened the guitar case, where are her fingerprints? There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Ah,
What is it, Miss Andrews?
you shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
It's a pretty safe assumption because I have something else of yours that has your prints on it. What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you I was wearing gloves at the time?
No, you weren't. Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes? God damn it.
Jordan, why the hell are you obsessed with this girl? Not a damn brain cell in there.
We're probably getting there. I mean, for all we know, she might even show up in the next game or something. Who knows? Jordan seems to agree with that sentiment. Shh, in time. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. Excuse me? No.
Press X to doubt.
You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Yes! I have your proof right here. The wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? I think the weirdest part would be taking them off in the first place, but yeah. She broke her glasses and had a pair on standby. Order, order, order! Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. So? You've made miracles happen out of empty cases before, Phoenix. Why are you having doubt now?
This man can't make up his mind.
I mean, he is a disaster bisexual. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix? Phoenix, let me help you with this one. Just because it's a guitar case doesn't mean a guitar is the only thing that can go in it. Think about that.
Thanks.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. God damn it. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court toward an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. Which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. And we have the evidence to back that up. However, it's wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. You're so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. The answer is your mom.
My mom is...
You
I'm
leave my
trying to-
mother out of this, right? I bet I don't
There
even
we go.
know the woman.
There we go. God.
Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well... Let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. Bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar was inside the... You know, the fact that the judge of all people was having a similar line of thought, thinking that it was just the color of the guitar that's throwing this whole thing off.
Oh, Judge.
Poor Rogie. So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Okay.
To say, Edgeworth, I was gonna say, I feel like you really don't want Phoenix to inflict this. God, I am horrible.
You alright over there?
I'm good. I don't. I was gonna say, sometimes a joke pops into my head, and it's like, you know, the in the gutter type of joke, and I struggle to make it.
I mean, mood. Okay, so this is probably the part where we're steering back to Adrian's obviously the one who did this. So I think I feel like Lotta's picture is actually coming back into play because... Whoops. I'm hitting the wrong buttons, that's why. Because it's been noted a few times that Adrian is relatively shorter compared to, like, Matt himself. And we made the argument last time that whoever's in this Nickel Samurai outfit is not him, because the pants are on the ground way too much. So I think the argument that's being made here, or that the game is leading us to make, is that we probably need to present this picture and be like, well, Adrian's the one in the suit, obviously. And that, like, the Nickel Samurai costume was what was in the case, so she could put it on and then, like, leave the room and not be noticed as herself. And use it to frame Matt. At least that's my thought. Jordan is extolling for Adrian's innocence and that Pearl is framing her. We'll see how that works. Until then, let's show the photo. I think that's where the game wants us to go with it. And that's where I want to go with it, so... This is a photograph. Yes, but what's important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture? Doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. Yeah, but Phoenix, remember, you're talking to the judge.
Yeah, he's got -10 brain cells at all times.
I think out of all the characters in all of these games, Edgeworth has the majority of the collective brain cells.
I think it's a tie between... Actually, no. Gumshoe, I think, would have more brain cells than the judge.
Yeah, because usually at least Gumshoe can put stuff together without too much prompting. Or at least once you prompt him, he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, pal. And the judge, you gotta sit there and, you know, hooked on phonics with him. You gotta sound it out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't think I read what was in what Phoenix said before this, but the important thing is, inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? Oh, I just had a thought.
Edgeworth. Sweetie. My beloved. What else could he be talking about? The costume had to get in there somehow, and then someone had to put it on and walk out of the building for Lana to take a photo of it.
Okay, but here's what I'm thinking. So, it's only his fingerprints that are on the guitar case. So, I don't think she ever actually opened it. But I feel like this is all going back to the whole... The two of them hate each other, and they keep wanting to bash each other, tear each other down kind of thing. Because they were supposed to be... We have the ticket stub thing for the post-press conference. Nickel Samurai is going to confess something. Now this might be me trying to get taller with this reach. What if Juan was going to, like, he had the costume, he got the costume somehow, maybe he got it from, like, Adrian because she works at the studio or whatever. Maybe he was gonna put on the outfit and go on stage and maybe say the stuff about everything that happened with Celeste. And that she killed herself because of everything Matt did.
Oh. See, unfortunately, I missed that part.
Oh yeah, so the whole thing was that Adrian's mentor ended up killing herself because she had been dating Matt. They broke up. She started dating Juan. I might have this backwards, but the point is she dated one, then she dated the other. And the first one told the second one that they had in fact dated, and he broke up with her. Because, you know, obviously, oh, you dated my fucking hated arch rival? How fucking dare you? And she killed herself.
Oh boy.
So, like, this shit's been going on for years. I think they said this, that her suicide and their whole thing, that happened like 2 years ago. And because Adrian was, like, so close and so codependent with Celeste, she tried to kill herself, too. But now, the general thing seems to be that her motive for doing everything she's been doing the past couple of years is to try and find Celeste's missing suicide note.
Mm.
Which supposedly, like, implicates and lists out all the shit that's been going on between Juan and Matt. I think Matt especially for the past couple of you know, before she killed herself. But her suicide note went missing. And it's assumed that Juan has it somewhere. So that's part of the logic here of Adrian ended up killing Juan because she wanted to try and find Celeste's suicide note. That's eventually the road we're gonna take, I think. So right now we're just trying to kind of pull things together and get from point A to point B. I feel like everybody has their own separate agenda and they came together in a big-ass car crash at this show.
Yeah.
So I think Juan was the one who was going to set up this fake press conference thing, and he got a nickel samurai costume, and he was going to put it on and go do the press conference. But maybe what happened was, like, I don't know, Adrian or somebody else probably killed him, and she was like, oh shit, well, it's not gonna look good if the costume's found here, and I gotta get out of here, let me put it on. I don't know. Like I said, I could be trying to make myself 3 inches taller with all this reaching and stretching I'm doing.
No, I was gonna say, I don't think you are, because it makes sense to me.
Jordan says, Adrian didn't do shit, my girl's been framed. I don't know, we'll see. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be in doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. No, I didn't want to open the court record. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop, which is why we have this picture in the first place. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Yes.
No, Judge, a completely different photograph.
I mean, it was said that there were a bunch of other photographs on it, but this was the only one that they thought mattered. Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Oh,
Nice
Judge, you
job,
have no
Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. The real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Onguard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? I don't know.
They were secretly lovers, and this whole thing has been a ruse.
Or even better, they hate fucked at least once.
Oh, yeah.
And inside the guitar case of all places. True, that is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. My thoughts include, the song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas on loop. And, questioning the aftertaste of my coffee, Dunkachino thing that I made. But it's probably just because I put too much of one of the flavors in there. Anyway. Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying, my thoughts consist of Fallout, courtesy of Tricky, and, the that's dancing Spanish cat that, like, you know, would people say, like, it's like, oh, I got ADHD, this is what my brain is, and it's like the, oh, no, stress, and then it's the cat dancing to, like, I think a Mario song or something, I don't know.
That's also a mood. Alright, what do you think? Was the costume stolen, or was it a spare costume? We saw that one picture earlier of him asleep in the costume. So I'm inclined to say it was a spare, but I feel like it would be something funny if we said it was stolen from him.
I mean, who's to say it couldn't be both? If it was a spare, it would technically be a spare for On Guard.
Mm-hmm.
So if the spare was stolen, it was still technically stolen from On Guard.
Well, it's only gonna cost us one thing of health, so let's... Like I said, I feel like it would just be funny. I want to see what's gonna happen if we say it was stolen.
Alright.
I think it may have been stolen from Mr. On Guard. Stolen? But why would someone do such a thing? Maybe the thief wanted to interfere with the post-ceremony stage show. And so, if he didn't have his costume, then Mr. On Guard would be forced to go naked! Maybe you should be stripped naked and run out for making a mockery of this court.
Oh, you would like that, wouldn't you, Edgeworth?
Excuse me? Right in front of my judge? Mr. Matt On Guard did not take his costume off after the awards ceremony. Yeah, this was the picture we saw earlier. He even testified that he took a nap while still wearing his costume. You know, that had to be hella uncomfortable. It's not easy to see behind the text box, but like, it's got the gears and shit, and that's like where his face is, so when he woke up, he probably had a nice indent of it right on his face. Like, huh? Is this not correct? Yeah, he did say something like that, didn't he? That's what I thought. Why did I give the Judge Edgeworth's voice? That's what I thought. Let's try that one more time, shall we, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. Let's do it again! Game over because I keep wanting to hear Edgeworth talk about Phoenix getting chased out naked. Okay, obviously, it was a spare costume. Yeah, and very specifically, they keep saying, and I think it's in the court record, that the button from the costume was in the Hakama. Yeah.
I hope that gets clipped, and if not, I'll have to clip it on my time off.
If it does, neat. If not, Mr. On Guard did not take his costume off during the break period. At the very least, not the pants, because that's where everybody keeps saying we found the button and everything. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Did you? I don't know if I was trying to say something.
It sounded like you were, so I just wanted to make sure. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder...
A spare one, Edgeworth. You know, like a spare tire, a spare charger, a spare pair of glasses.
Yeah, like Adrian has. There were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? I guess, yeah. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Thanks for filling in the blank. But how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. Rabble, rabble, rabble. But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the German ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? Watergate! Close! Gatewater! But what could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? You've just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue. Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai's spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... my badge.
Oh my god.
He'd heard all about the famous Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and he knew that this whole thing would set off a chain of events, and he just really wanted to meet me, and unfortunately, he met his demise before he could meet me. Whoa, woe is me. Woe is he.
Woe is we.
Ha ha ha! Whoa! We are back in an ad break. That's why I'm.
Okay, great. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay, you
Hopefully,
can walk.
Hey.
You can take your time. I'll be on the be right back screen. Welcome back. We should also be back from the ad break now.
Yippee!
So, the reason that Juan brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Like I said, I think it goes back to the whole Juan and Matt constantly going against each other, trying to one-up each other, embarrass each other, things like that. Because Matt kept saying he had no idea about the post-ceremony stage show. About the conference, rather. Well, it's only gonna cost us a sliver of health, so if I'm completely way off base, it won't be that big of a deal. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once you're not making something up, right?
Wow.
But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Carita himself. The victim? Yes. Spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Carita was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. That is what I said. But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wagered he was going to reveal something about himself. Oh, excuse me. which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, is going to speak about Matt On Guard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Oh.
Oh,
That's okay. All she was saying was,
ah.
Just a little, Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the jamming ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
Ooh. He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What? And do you know what this secret of Mr. On Guard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Protect Mr. On Guard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type.
We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. That had to kill one. Didn't have an alibi. Button and the knife. Well, earlier we said the knife was planted by whoever the real killer was. Because, of course, we don't want it to be Matt, which is why we're trying to pin it all on her. I want to hear more about this. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim had his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct? What other button would I be talking about? You think my badge is a button?
That button was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama, is that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Eric. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway.
Except,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, except that doesn't. They keep forgetting about the photo Lana took. That happened right after the murder.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. That button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt. I feel like I'm missing something. For one thing, the fact that the autopsy is on page 2 of the evidence list. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. So, his death was by strangulation, and from what we see in the photo, he died because he was strangled and then gets stabbed after the fact. And the button gets ripped off probably after he's dead. So, I think...
shit, that's a huge button.
Right? Like, goddamn.
Why are they so fucking huge?
So they can be seen by everybody.
I guess so.
They have to be that huge so Old Bag can recognize one on sight when we present it to her in court. Yeah, I feel like something's not... It's not lining up here. Well, it's obviously not lining up. Like I said, the button and the stabbing and everything. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
It's strangulation.
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. Ah, god dang it. I keep dropping my frickin' thing. Got it. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Order, order. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off of the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean? Does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? To pin the crime on guard, obviously, because it was found on his person when they came and got him. Duh. I say duh, but that's just my thought anyway.
I think it's, I think you have every right to say, duh.
To pin the crime on guard, duh. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer, then? Finally. Can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard, is my badge. No, it's obviously Adrian. That's what we've been working toward this whole fucking time. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you! You are Mr. Corita's killer! Adrian used forged evidence! It's not very effective! Juan used struggle, but it didn't do anything.
Adrian used bind. It's super effective.
Juan fainted. But this is a Nuzlocke, so he's dead.
You win. You get a shitty bloody button. Gotta catch 'em all. Attorney Mon.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, no. No, I gotta see something. I have to see.
Order, order, order! Mr. Wright! This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Do you want me to do this while you're looking for your thing?
I got it. What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him, and knew which knife to take, was you. Oh no, her glasses again! Oh, don't worry, she's got another pair.
Then... What about the button that was found in Matt's... Hamaka? Or... whatever the fuck it's called.
Hakama.
Yeah, that thing.
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Ongard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there go her glasses again. Oh, she's got another.
I'm trying so hard to do these things without making it sound like I'm moaning.
You gotta be very throat constrictive with it. Rather than like, it's more like, Make it sound more like you're shitting really hard rather than moaning.
Okay. Jesus.
Voice acting tips, entry level 0. From somebody who knows absolutely nothing about voice acting. Make your grunts sound like you're actively having a massive shit rather than moaning sexually. All voice acting sessions can be improved in this way. Source, just trust me, bro.
Oh god. Oh god. Are we in an ad break and that's not why that's why you're not progressing, or is it because I can't stop fucking laughing?
Well, no, we're not on an ad break. That's gonna happen in another 5 to 7 minutes, I think.
Oh boy.
No, I was trying to let the moment breathe. I was trying to let the moment breathe before throwing something else at it.
Alright.
The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Ongard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews. Oh, I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Damn.
I can't whistle, but you all know what I'm gonna I mean.
Are you wolf whistling at her? You're going wee woo.
Pretty much, but I can't whistle, so yep.
Well, I don't want to whistle because I don't know if how well the microphone will pick it up, and B, if it'll peak the mic if it goes through too well. I know some people, they have their mic settings and they whistle into it and it sucks. It's like so loud and sharp and ugh. So you just get the vocal impression of a whistle. You get wow, wow. Which is good enough. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? Could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No,
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But a glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is Mr. Ongard. Unless you're fucking old bag. But he did say reasonable person, so...
Mm-hmm.
He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kinda short in stature, are you not?
Please stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? Got her this time. Miss Andrews?
I I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says that I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. But that in itself technically incriminates you.
It's the Gant thing all over again. He invoked his right to refuse to testify, but that later meant he couldn't defend himself. But I feel like that's a kind of a different story here. Like, the overall idea is the same. Like, yes, I'm not going to talk about this specific thing because it incriminates me. But the idea is the same. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination, by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Onguard's room, Adrian Andrews!
Yes?
Think hard about what we discussed. Understood?
All right.
That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. There's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? Now all I'm thinking of is that fucking Megamind meme, but with Edgeworth's face. No evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof.
I'm sorry, the fuck?
Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Juan Corrida. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Thanks. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. Obstruction of justice?
No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do. That is to declare a recess. Recess? But I don't want to go to the playground! I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow! If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? The client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? He is, but Maya's not. That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. The real killer is the ad breaks we encountered along the way.
Oof. Okay.
We'll be right back. We're back. And Edgeworth knows who the real killer is? Do we know who the real killer is?
I think we do.
Please. Wait. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews? She ain't saying nothing. She's just like,
When you found the
Why am I mixing up that? I'm gonna take another sip of coffee. Just mentally reset. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes, and?
Oh good, she knows the basics of improvisation. I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
So my actions were unusual, but I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect.
Testify?
Testify! Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
I think he's friend, but he ain't gonna give this to Phoenix for free. Phoenix has got to work his... God, I wanna make the joke! pocket. Phoenix has got to work his attorney bussy off for it.
You want him to work his badge off for it? Right in front of my badge and everything?
Yeah, right in front of your badge and everything.
Okay. You know what? Sure. What the hell? Sure.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
When I found the body.
That glass of juice. I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan. He was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind.
Even though he had a freaking knife sticking out of his chest? I'm pressing X to doubt again.
To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
Because I didn't think of it until just now.
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial.
Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours?
No,
I don't think we want to know.
Maybe he's just got a raging truth boner and he wants to help us find the truth.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yeah, so I think... I saw him sitting like that, the fact that he was dead didn't cross my mind. Even though he's literally got a goddamn knife sticking out of his chest. Excuse me? So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? Like, unless you were approaching him from the back, there's no way that you would think that... There's no way you wouldn't see the knife.
No. No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body.
Ugh.
Now that's more like it.
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Karita's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that he was a dead man.
That's... Well, you see...
I doubt a single person in the world would have mistaked this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer.
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt On Guard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify, and your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Yeah, even if it means you get thrown in jail in Matt's place.
Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt On Guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? I don't think so. Like, yeah, it seems like we're about to get the not guilty verdict we need to save Maya from the kidnapper, but I don't feel right about this. Like, we know there's way more going on, or there was way more going on before this whole thing got here. And I feel like more stuff needs to come out, like the whole thing about Celeste. Like, I
think so too.
I feel like we need to peel back the metaphorical curtain and show what's happening. So
I agree. Oh, I was gonna say, I agree. But right now, Phoenix is one track thought only, and that's saving Maya. Once Maya is safe, then I think we can maybe somehow find a way to address the other shit.
We can't, though, because if it gets found out that...
Not necessarily. Okay, so this is assuming that Matt On Guard is innocent, period. And that someone else is the killer. All we have to do is prove that that On Guard is innocent, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's enough conclusive evidence that... I don't know. Basically, it has to be... There's not enough evidence to fully pin it on... what's her face?
Adrian.
But there is Adrian, but there is enough evidence to prove Matt is innocent. So get the non-guilty verdict for Matt, and then a new trial takes place, separate from the Matt one, where we find who the real killer is.
But that's the problem. That's not how Ace Attorney Court works. We have to...
Of course it's not. But
whenever we find somebody... whenever we find our client innocent, we find somebody else guilty. So it's basically... we prove our client's innocence by immediately implicating somebody else. So we have to do a trade-off here. It's Adrian or Matt.
True.
So it's the what is quote-unquote right versus what is most beneficial for us, I think. Let's see what Mia has to say. Or what Phoenix has to say. What they both have to say. What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. Now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Yeah, usually when we uncover somebody, they're all like, "No, how did you find me out?" So, like, that's also a little bit of what's giving me pause.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt On Guard. Your Honor, prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. I'm going to wag my finger at you. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. The absolute real truth? What are you... Witness? Don't you understand yet?
Huh?
I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party.
That's a lie. I don't believe you.
What?
I was told that if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared.
Franziska von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then, right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging on to them. What should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get her not guilty. That's my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please, somebody, help me.
Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor?
The court can't continue on like this, therefore I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. Think about who's the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? No one else it could be except the woman crying over there. Right? Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? So we can push forward with the not guilty. We can try to push forward with the not guilty verdict in the hopes of saving Maya. Or we can try and get more out of her. My problem is, I feel like Edgeworth knows more than we know at the moment. Because he's sitting here talking about a real mastermind. And it seems like he doesn't think it's Adrian.
Someone needs to slap this girl across the face and be like, regardless of if you testify or not, he's gonna walk free.
I feel like that's what we're gonna... I feel like either way, we'll get that kind of same outcome. Like, say something, or he walks free, or, Your Honor, just let my client go. Free my man, he ain't done nothing wrong. And the judge will be like, okay. And I don't feel right about that.
Yeah.
So, what I'm gonna do... I'm gonna save real quick. And then if we don't... Like, if it goes really fucking sideways, we can always just reload.
Yeah. If we make... I say we, it's... You're steering the ship. If you make a fucky-wucky, you can rewind.
this is true. But I also feel like whatever we say here might not have as big of a... Like, it's gonna be one of those, it doesn't matter what you think kind of things. Because, like, we don't have the bar in the corner, so it's not like we're gonna lose health if we do the wrong thing.
True.
But
Very true.
that doesn't always pop up when there's a choice like this anyway. But we've saved. I don't feel right about going for the not guilty verdict, especially because, like I said, there's just so much we haven't addressed yet, and Edgeworth knows about it. So, I feel like we should get her to testify some more. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Yeah, plus, who knows? She might say something and we'll get even more evidence. Be like, oh, you said this. You clearly had something to do with it. Maybe it'll make the acquittal, quote-unquote, more complete.
Maybe.
Miss Andrews?
Who knows?
Hmm?
I said, who knows?
I would like to know what you're really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Absolutely not. Sure, Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
Oh, he's wagging his finger again.
What a shame.
I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, music kicked up. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What?
And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Stop. Please stop.
No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's...
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. Secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about her scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop. I beg you. If people find out... I'll...
If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me.
Oof.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me.
I'll talk. But please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
My crime.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of a inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
Stabbed the body with the knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all of this? It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim Juan Corrida in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
I don't know. I don't feel like anything she said... We don't really have anything to contradict what she said. As far as I can tell. I don't know, maybe if we try pressing things... Well, maybe we'll get something else out of it. Let's just do it. You could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is part of the Jamming Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange.
Yeah, because she says herself that she's the one who planted the knife. So when she came in, he probably did just look passed out.
So I feel like she's not lying about that now. Now that we know she's the one who did that. At least according to her.
His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and want to pour the juice.
I realized he was dead when I formulated my plan. Made sure there was no one in the hallway. I made the dash. Stabbed one with the knife. Had a bit of an inconvenience. That's probably what she means by she... Like, she saw Lotta and Old Bag, probably. That's the inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. Yeah, usually when we do things like this, when we loop the dialogue back around, usually there's like some kind of hint as to what we need to do. So let's see if we can do that. 'Cause I'm just not coming up with it. I don't want to concede, but this testimony, it rings of the truth. I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please don't apologize to me. We were both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I guess. That gives us nothing. Okay, so maybe we should just keep pressing. Formulated my plan. What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weak point to the world. But
Oops.
no, you're good. I'll save my thoughts for after I'm done reading this. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt.
So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button.
The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife.
I made sure there was no one in the hallway. I made the dash back. You want to do your thoughts now?
Yeah. How would Matt know that Juan had planned all this? Yeah, the conference had taken him by surprise, but like, information slips through the cracks all the time. As for the confession, he could have thought, like, oh, I'm confessing my real identity, or I'm confessing that something else. I don't know. He does not seem like the brightest person.
Maybe the key word here is that he doesn't seem like the brightest person. Like I said, there's probably more that we don't know yet, because the whole thing, a lot of the backstory stuff that we haven't talked about yet in court, that we've barely really scratched the surface of, is Matt's role in, you know, Celeste's death. Like, we know that they dated for a time, they broke up, and then she dated Juan, and then Juan broke up with her after finding out that she had dated Matt before. Maybe he's some kind of asshole. Maybe that's why she really wants to... That's why she wants to pin everything on him so hard. No, let's press on. That was so you could get the knife, correct? It'd help if I would stop hitting the options button.
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime.
Stab the body with the knife and rip off the butt. Okay, tell me more. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I can make Matt look even more suspicious.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Onguard's Hakama?
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
When I finished, I would have a bit of an inconvenience. A lot of an old bag-shaped inconvenience. An inconvenience
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
Willing to bet my spikes that it was Lotta.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
There's Old Bag. That's Miss Old Bag for you.
I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
So I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. You were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you? God damn it.
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put into Juan's English. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, yes?
Yes, Juan wanted to wear the costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is this secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Knuckle Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. On Guard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word, what does all of this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt On Guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Franziska, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just keep quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right? It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Oof, there was a big echo on that one. Damn, Judge, that is a nice chair. I hope it's comfy. Oh. Oh, no. Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth?
What is it?
Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it?
Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room? That day?
Yes,
Oh, you can kind of see it. There's a piece of paper on the table there next to the glass.
I discovered this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body.
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah,
On contraire!
I guess not. But it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Witness, that card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
I didn't mean to.
What is this all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? To be continued.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm remembering?
What?
At the end of the investigation, when we were playing as Maya, she found a similar card. And she used that to try and pick the lock to get out.
Oh.
So, if I had to guess, that's gonna play a role. But on that note, let's get out of here. Let's try and get out of here before the ad break comes. I kept delaying it, but I don't know if I can keep delaying. I can't keep delaying it anymore. So,
Alright. Well, on that note, I can tell you what I was trying to find. I was trying to find an Ace Attorney Pokemon crossover fan game because of the little Pokemon battle we had.
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything though.
Well, it's not exactly Pokemon, but I know for a fact that there's the Ocarina of Time Ace Attorney crossover.
Yeah, well, okay, I suppose I should be technical. I found a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game that had an Ace Attorney themed game title, and then I found an Ace Attorney game that seemed to have Pokemon characters from, like, the anime in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as close as I got.
Well, that's better than nothing, I suppose. I mean, you are a mod, so if you want to post it in the chat or something, you are more than welcome to.
I'm good. Neither of them seemed, like, very good, I should say. Like, or complete.
Fair enough. But
thanks for... I have to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, we did not beat out that ad break, so
Ooh.
I didn't really think we would. Well, let's find out. Let's go see who else is hanging out. See who's hanging out and what they're up to.
Yeah.
Well, let's... I think we're gonna... For anybody who's still here when they get back from break, I think we'll send the party over to Jay. Looks like she's playing some Uma Musume.
Ooh. Horses.
Let's go see the horse girls. I did not, in fact, see the horse girls.
What did you see?
I don't know. I was flipping so much so fast. It was all a blur.
Oh.
Kind of like when you fall off the mountain in Peak.
Oh dear.
But before we go, I have one more small thing.
Oh.
Yeah, the thing I sent you, Monstro's request. I don't know whether or not they're still
yeah.
here to hear it.
I thought your thing was gonna be you grab my Discord Fugi and you just yeet me off screen.
I mean, I could do that, but that's not quite as funny. And especially
That's
if you...
true.
Even if you have the stream pulled up, you won't see it until after the fact, so the screaming would be, not on time. So...
You'd be surprised. It would be a literal... It would be off by, like, a second. I know this, because I'm in the stream right now, and when I yeeted you, from the second I clicked the redeem to the second you screamed was actually probably 0.5 seconds.
Alright, smarty pants, then get out of here. How was your trip?
I'm back. Great. Unlike you, I actually stuck the landing.
That's the thing about you throwing me. You can't tell whether or not I stick the landing.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, you tell on yourself, so...
This is true. But yeah, by request of one of our chatters, community members, who loves my JFK voice impersonation, we're gonna have a little... Well, at the very least, the audio clip, because I'm having trouble getting my OBS to work with me to pull up the video part of it. JFK's Snowflake Day Hits, which I will link in the chat. If I actually get over to the chat correctly. So here's that. Let me get that going. It is unmuted. Right, here we go.
Sure is putting me in the mood. Of course it is. It's JFK sings the Snowflake Day Hits. Away in a taco, no spice for my lamb. Snowflake, snowflake,
What?
snowflake, I made you out of
not
I
loud
just
enough?
realized I can't hear it because I have the stream muted because I don't want to hear myself echoing. I don't want to hear the sound of my voice. I'll just pull up the YouTube clip later.
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna start it again now. I did turn it up partway through, so let's try it again.
Sure is putting me in the mood. Of course it is. It's JFK sings the Snowflake Day hits.
Away in a taco, no spice for my lamb. Snowflake, 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 I made you out of snow. Jerky balls, turkey beef jerky. Jerky balls, tasty balls, balls of meat, jerked so sweet. It's a Jeff Foxworthy Redneck Snowflake Day!
More brandy, dear?
No thanks. I'm pregnant.
I forgot completely about that whole bit. That was certainly something to re-behold. So,
I bet.
So if you have not beheld it, the link's in the chat, and I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video when I get it there. Until then, let's go hang out with Jay for a bit. She's playing Uma Musume. I don't know if this is the first time she's played Uma Musume, but the horse girls are cute. And you believe in them, and they believe in themselves, and friendship and things.
Yes, the power of friendship compels you.
No, literally. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out tonight. I hope everything
Thank
goes
you.
well for you tomorrow and for the rest of the week.
Thank you. It'll go so much better if I get in the night, timing something so perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a question. Do you let the raid timer run out and let that decide the raid, or do you click the button prematurely?
Depends on how much yapping gets done in the meantime. Right now it's
So,
about halfway out.
So I just have to keep yapping until that timer's almost out, and then do my thing. Great. So anyway, the fitness gram pacer test is a
I mean, I have my whole outro to do still.
Oh shit! Right.
My whole eat good food, take your medicine, drink water, and get some rest, and we'll see you next time. That whole thing I usually do.
Great. Perfect timing then.
Okay, there I go. Bye!